Well, hello. Today is Thursday, February the 20th. Great day to be here. We've got 2020. Kind of an interesting thing. As a person who loves to work out, that inspired a lot of different workout schemes and things today. But as always, we had quite the busy day up on the hill. So let's jump into it with both feet. The first thing I want to touch on today is a new bill that just got numbered. And these things, because we saw that big push for everybody to release the bills that they were holding on to, if there was anything that was a little bit, secret that they were kind of keeping in their back pocket, now it's out in the open. So here's another one that just got numbered, and it's by Representative Paul Ray, and it is numbered as House Bill 375, Electronic Cigarette Amendments. And the important thing I want to look at here, and again, check out the notes down below. I've got most of this listed out so you can follow along. And down below, you'll notice we've got a link for it. And specifically, I want to read out to you a few lines, starting in line 878. And again, a quick tip for any of you who are new to reading bills, the way that these bills work in the state of Utah is that if you're going to be changing anything about a particular code, you have to cite all of the code and then plug in where you're going to be making a change. And where you will be making a change is underlined. So even though this is a very lengthy bill, it's actually not terribly bad when you stop and consider how much of it is underlined. Now, it still is roughly about a 35-page bill when I printed it out, but as far as new stuff, maybe about 5 or 6. Anyways, I digress. So here it goes, and this is a new section that the entire bill continues to reference, and that is 7610.113, and it reads the following. It says, prohibition on the manufacture, distribution, sale, possession, and use of electronic cigarettes. It is unlawful for any person to knowingly manufacture, distribute, sell, offer for sale, give, furnish, buy, attempt to buy, accept, or have in the person's possession any electronic cigarette in the state. So, we have a ban on e-cigarettes. Now, I have some questions about this. The first thing is as a person who loves health, who abhors cigarettes, I don't know about everybody else listening, but I do not like it when you see the huge plumes of smoke everywhere. It's not me. I've never smoked. I don't intend to start smoking. I pray every day that my children will not smoke. But let me ask you this question. What about freedom of choice? Because I get it. We need to do things for people's health. This is considered to be a huge health issue. But where do we stop? Where does government then draw that line between allowing freedom of choice and saying, I'm going to protect you against those bad choices? Let's start with something like sugar. We all love it, tastes great, it's in about everything we consume. We also know for a fact that it leads to a host of medical issues that cost this country and our state millions upon billions upon trillions of dollars. So many things are now linked to obesity, to hypertension, you name it, and a lot of it stems back to our diet. Now, I offer that just as an example to say, well, what about this? Now, here's the interesting thing is most studies that I've been able to look at do agree that e-cigarettes are actually safer than combustible cigarettes. So why not ban all cigarettes? I don't know on that one again, but again, I think Ron Paul summed it up very well in 2009 when he said this. And remember, Ron Paul got his start in politics, yes, but he was by practice a physician and a doctor. So he said this, my objections to the bill are not an endorsement of tobacco. As a physician, I understand the adverse health effects of this bad habit, and that is exactly how smoking should be treated, as a bad habit and a personal choice. The way to combat poor choices is through education and information, other than ensuring that tobacco companies do not engage in force or fraud to market their products. The federal government needs to stay out of the health habits of free people. So something to consider here. Again, do I like where this particular representative's heart is at? Again, I like that he's trying to help people, but the manner in which he's using government to constrain it is something that is not the function of government. Let me put it to you another way. When man created government, what we effectively did is we took our rights and we bestowed those rights that we have and said, you know what, government, you're going to look after these particular sets of rights. So my question then would be, do I have the right to go across the street or into my neighbor's garage? I might see him eating a Twinkie and I think, oh my goodness, that's got sugar in it. It's terrible. It's killing him. I'm going to go take it from him. And if he does something wrong, I'll call the police on him. Again, I cannot do that. So is that something that I can give to the government that I myself cannot do? The answer to that is no, I cannot. We also had an interesting citation. We touched on this a few weeks ago, last week, when the Mitt Romney vote was everywhere across the board. And so today there was a citation that was released from the GOP leadership to President Trump, thanking him and recognizing him. Again, by doing it as a citation from both the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate, it did not open up for any debate or discussion where Democrats or others could jump in and comment. So that was kind of the tactic there. We also had an interesting bill that we touched on a few weeks ago. Let's catch you up where it's at. And this is Senate Bill 67. It's now on its third substitute. Well, it passed the Senate, and now it's over at the House in the House Health and Human Services Committee. And this is the one, again, that Senator Bramble and Representative Lisenby are running as it relates to the right to determine the final disposition of the remains of an aborted fetus. Aborted fetus. Now remember that, and the reason why that's important is because all of the testimony that was brought up today from those that are in support of this bill, a lot of people that are up there that are associated with a ton of different nonprofit groups, all geared towards family, all geared towards pro-life, but their arguments were all about their own miscarriage, and that through that miscarriage, they were unable to determine what do we do or what happens to that aborted baby or the aborted fetus that the miscarriage tragically ended. And in some cases, again, very heartbreaking, very heart-wrenching, but again, where is the testimony that this bill is actually trying to hit on, which is abortion? Now, again, with this particular bill, just to make sure that everyone knows, this so far has a 100% partisan vote. Democrats are opposing it. Republicans are supporting it. Not so fast. If Representative Ward from Bountiful is your representative, shame on you, Representative Ward. So today, and he is a family physician, he opposed this. Now, why he opposed it? Again, there's some links below. You can listen to all of the debates that ensued. He did offer a few points, none of which I thought were really carried any reason to have a problem with this. The third substitute, what they also did is they did not put in some of the new PR verbiage. They said aborted fetus instead of pregnancy tissue or whatever they wanted to put in there. They said, no, we're not going to do that. Some are worried about the social impact, medical privacy. A lot are like, man, we need the right to choose. Look what the bill says. The bill is just all about saying you get a choice what happens with the remains, and there we go. The other thing that we had today was two sessions. We had the session in the morning with the House, and then we reopened the House in the afternoon. We only had one committee meeting this afternoon, so not a lot of bills going through committee. Tomorrow there's quite a few going through, but we did have a lot of bills go through. It was 21 today. We also had our second bill that failed, and this was HB 107, links below, and this is about effective teachers in high poverty schools. Now you read the title and you think, how in the world could a legislator vote against that? We'll tell you how. It doesn't do what this bill would, again, purport to do. So this is a bill that's saying, man, there's some great things going on in kindergarten. The legislation has really helped. We're doing much better. Let's expand that to first through third grade. We had a Democrat, actually, who stood up, and he mentioned, wait a second, this particular test that we're thinking about expanding, it's exclusive to kindergarten. It has no place in these other grades. So that bill was failed. As of the recording of this, we now have 16 new number bills. I referenced one of those, and 13 new bill requests. So a lot going on. Please stay very active, stay vigilant, my friends, and we'll see you tomorrow.